Hello, 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 good evening, morning, noon, or night. And welcome. Hi guys, how are you? Hi Connor, hi Josh, hi Ziley, hi Schmoozle, hi Ghosty, hi Nova, hi Lasty. Welcome. And yeah. It's like the footnote. It's like welcome to Goss and like small font at the bottom of the screen. And I suppose it's technically my 3-year anniversary that I definitely didn't forget about. Nope. Maybe I'll do something for it the weekend after Comet. How about that? Yeah, so it seems like I've officially been streaming for 3 years. Motherfuck me. Hi, Space. Hi, Shara. Thank you for the love, dear Ryan. Welcome. It's just like, it's like the weekend after this affiliate anniversary stream, and it's like, this motherfucker forgot his anniversary was on the 16th, didn't he? And I'd be like, no. I'm seasoned like microwave popcorn, baby. Salt me up. Oh my god. I swear, like, you know, when... I swear, like, literally probably like 5 minutes before I started stream, you know those moments where your body's just suddenly like, I'm tired. And it's like, no, we've been ready for hot, it's EP time now. And like 8:30 comes along and I'm like, wait, get the fuck up. The urge to nap has my soul. Oh my god. But yes, how's all y'all's days has been? You know, since this is the Goss stream after all. Oh my god. Having a sip of my drink. I got the Sprite out of the fridge because I realized I need sugar right now. Oh my god. I mean, think of it, Ghosty. What you could do is you could lay down and then just kick the air a lot for like an hour. That's like, it's like a jog, except you're defying gravity. Hi, Gov. How are you? Welcome. Oh my god. I mean, yes, I've had, I want to say exciting, but like, I also know that like, unless you are also a corporate slave, it's not gonna sound exciting. Like, I've had an exciting week in the same way that like 30-year-olds get excited over Dyson vacuum cleaners, you know. Like, us boomers get excited about different things. So, my sweet youths here in chat probably about to be like, oh my god, you sad sack. Honestly though, Shara, like, if I could find a standalone benchtop dishwasher, I would go about as ape shit as a white woman getting a Dyson vacuum cleaner. I shit you not, I hate doing the dishes. You just reach an age where you're just like, fuck it, I want the easy things in life. Oh my god. Yes, so I know that I mentioned it a little bit on Saturday, I believe. But as of today, my promotion at work is 100% officially locked in. I've signed all of the thingies, I've signed the contracts, and I've locked it the fuck in. So, it's happening. So, when I say my week's been exciting, it's been exciting in, like, you know, new work. Basically, yeah. So, like, you know, I've got a work laptop now. Before I was just like reception, so like all I had was like the old piece of shit desktop. But I've got my own work laptop now. and well, I don't have it yet because my quote unquote official start date for my new role thanks to Wanker, is late next month, just because I got to find someone to replace me. But like, it's one of those, officially on the 21st of October, I will no longer have anything to do with reception. I'll be in a completely different department. Till that point, I'm probably going to be doing like bleedy blendy, you know, bit here, bit there. Yes, I have a work laptop now, which means there's a tiny chance. Nothing's confirmed, as in no, we haven't talked about it, but there is a small part of my soul that's secretly hoping I get a work from home day, or at the very least, I might be able to wriggle my way into one occasionally. But yeah, and another thing that like I'm quite chuffed about as well, I'm quite chipper about, is we had our performance appraisals recently, which is a very basically fancy way of it's the corporate equivalent of the here's all the things you did good and here's all the things you need to work on conversation. Luckily, I just got the did good. But I've heard stories. And basically today, so originally with my promotion, I was going to go up a bracket. So slightly more moolah, which fuck yeah. And I found out while looking at my appraisal, because I could access it behind the scenes and see what it is, I found out that like my old boss had put me in for a raise, which is also really cool. And the raise ended up pretty much being the same amount that my promotion would give me. So just kind of casually, like after I'd signed everything, because I wanted to be sure I wouldn't be spanner in the fan, I was kind of like, oh, you know, like I saw this on the appraisal, you know, is that going to affect anything? Is that negated? Like, what's going on? And the HR lady, she was like, I have no idea, actually. I'll get back to you. So, you know, I go on my way, and I get called back in, like, an hour later. And through the power of bullshit, they talked it out, and they've decided that they're also going to give me my raise on top of my little promotion, which means that I'm going to get to go up 2 little brackets instead of 1. So I found out today that I've got a promotion and a raise at the same time. I've never been promoted or gotten a raise in my entire life before. So I don't know how to react. This has never happened. Like, oh my god, like they were literally like, oh, you know, give us a moment, we're gonna rewrite your letter of offer because we're gonna up it. And I was like, oh my god, oh my lord. So that's pretty cool, and I've been in quite a good mood. I've been quite chuffed. Since so yeah, that was like, I don't know, 4 hours ago ish. Time's an illusion, but that's been my day. I've had a good day. It's been exciting. Um, it's like, I'm not going to be rolling in dough or anything like that, but like, I'm going to be rolling in a little bit more dough than before. And let's be honest, like, I think it like ends up equating to like about maybe like an extra 150 a week or something. But like, bro, the amount of shit you can do with that. Like, I'm just chuffed. I'm just like, oh my god. That's so many rochers. So yeah, I'm in the chuff zone. I could, yeah, hi Nix. Ah, way to go! Congrats on getting your first ever commission. Double the rochers. Oh my god. So yeah, I've had an exciting week in that sense. So starting next month, I am going to move from being a receptionist in my day job to becoming the administrator for the facilities and infrastructure department, which is a really wanky way of saying I'm going to the basement with the tradies. Hi, Remy. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Yep. So yeah, I'm quite good. quite chuffed, quite happy. Oh my god. We do get chained up in the basement. Yeah. Honestly, like, in the realm of perspective, you really could go like, on one hand, ooh, he just got a promotion and a raise. But on the other hand, they are sending him to the shadow realm though. Honestly, based on the shadow realm, like, I'm not going to give specifics for like obvious reasons, but I can say that in the number that I was given, there is a 666 in there, and I thought that was fucking hilarious. Because, like, you know how it is with salaries. It's like, it's never a clean number. It's always like 5, 4, 3, 6, 7 or some shit. And 52 cents or something. but there's a 666 there. I thought that was really funny. Hi, Az. How you doing? So, I've got 3 weeks left on the surface, and then it's to the shadow realm I go. Just basement's haunted admin boy. Oh my god. But yeah, so that's been my week. Down into the mines. Oh my god. Funny part is, like, even though I've been working where I like with the company I work with for about a year now, a bit of a year, I've actually like never really been down to the basement. Like, literally, like, my mistake, because I've never had reason to go down there. Like, I know what's down there in theory, but I've never really been down there. Because I've never had to. And, like, it's quite funny because, like, from the reception, it's quite common that when folks come for anything to do with trades, any tradey stuff, what we do is we'll let them down. Like, the basement has its own staircase. There's the staircase to go up, and there's the staircase downstairs. And literally, my entire, like, experience to date with going to the basement is when the tradies come, I open the secret door, and then let them go down on their own. And then I'm like, goodbye, and then I close the door behind them and they disappear into the ether. Oh my god, to the back rooms. Check the cams, close the doors. So, you know, if you don't hear from me in 3 weeks, the basement got me. Oh my god. But yes, so, tonight's plan, stream-wise, is we're going to be reading tales from the wondrous land of r/am I the arsehole. Get away, Jabba. Yeah, it's just go downstairs. It's like, alright, will I get to work from home? And then it's like, EAT space SHIT. This motherfucker told me to eat shit. Oh my god. Wait, no way, ads. Honestly, it's just that time of the year. No, I can't believe I've been streaming for 3 years. That feels really weird to say. Oh my god. Alright. Who's ready to begin the first tale? Thank you, your guy. Oh, see that as, oh, it ain't nearly, it's well over 13 months, baby. Check it out, as higher, you're old friends now. Oh, Shara, you coming on that triple, that triple A up. Oh, you nearly 1 year, 2 months of friendship, Ghosty. Just think, Haya. It took you almost exactly 1 year to convert to the Lloyd. Oh shit, 1 year. Oh my god, 1 year, 2 months. Hell yes, Anna. Oh my god, Ghosty. It's like those stories where they've got like the alternate world or something and time flows differently. You know that feeling deep in your soul, Xana, that feeling you get when you look in your soul as you stare at how long you've been here, and that feeling is wrinkles. Mwah. Hugs and kisses, hugs and kisses. I'm sharing my wrinkles with you with all of the love and affection in the world. I'll think about it this way, Ghosty. Time may go slow, but it's alright. Because that means you're here forever. Alrighty. Am I the asshole for not giving my sister my wife's clothes? My wife was a corporate lawyer and a mediator. She had some very nice work clothes. She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and was gone in 2 years. The last 6 months of her life were hell. My sister Sarah didn't do jack shit for us during that time. My wife never liked her. I do not like her. She's a selfish cow. At my wife's wake, she started asking about my wife's clothes, and I brushed her off. She wanted to pick out a few pieces to remember my wife by, and I ignored her. It's been about 6 months, and I've attended my mum's birthday, but I'm still not in the mood to deal with people. And then Sarah comes, asking about my wife's clothes. I told her my wife wanted me to donate them to a women's shelter, and she often helped. It will help women in need with their own court cases, court appointments, and job interviews. My sister Sarah said, My wife was even selfish in death. And I asked her, what the fuck did she mean? And she started going off with how my wife always thought she was better than her, and it's not fair that the clothes are going to charity and not to family. I told my sister that I would rather see my wife's clothes lit on fire than on her back. My sister started crying, and my mum came over to see what was wrong. My mum told me to be easier on my sister because she was talking about my wife. She was taking about my wife's death hard. The fucking insanity of that coming out of my mum's mouth made me grab my gift and leave. My mum acts like I had to ruin her birthday by being melodramatic, but I cannot believe their emotional blackmail towards me over fucking clothes that they had no right to. Am I the asshole? Absolutely fucking not. What? Huh? What? Hi, Eldred. What? Like, what? You're so selfish, giving them to charity. What? People are selfish giving them to the sister, you cad. That doesn't make any sense. Not only is she selfish, but she's stupid, too. Oh my god, like, Jesus. Yeah. Like, you know, donate and it's like, they're all like fancy lawyer clothes. They're good for, you know, court cases, court appointments, joint interviews. It's really good to give them to a shelter. Not the selfish cow, to quote unquote. Honestly, Xana, I'd get in line. I know, right? Yeah, just the audacity. The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch. Wisdom was chasing her, but she was running faster. Oh my god. Motherfucker. Oh, no. No. Some people baffle me. Am I the asshole for not telling my husband's family that I speak their language? My husband, Peter, 29M, and I, 27F, have been married for about 3 years. We have one child together, and I was pregnant with our second. I am Western Canadian, while he's from Germany. We lived in Canada for a long time, but because of inflation, moving back to Germany just seemed like a better option for us. We bought a new house in Hanover, where Peter is from. The day after our flights to Germany, we all visited Peter's family. This was the second time I'd seen them. The first was at our wedding. They greeted us and brought us inside of the house, fussing over my son. We had dinner, and soon we left the house, wanting to settle into our new home. We visited Peter's family often for the next few months, but I had started to realize that they would sometimes speak about me in German. They would make rude comments on my hair and makeup, question my fashion choices, and overall were just very unkind to me. They also said mean things about my pregnant belly, which I was already insecure about. I ended up talking to my husband about this. I told him I didn't like the way they were treating me. I said I hated how my every choice was judged. He told me that he'd talk to his family. The next time that we went to his parents' house, there were no more mean comments. For about 3 months, it was like nothing ever happened. I gave birth to a perfect baby girl that we named Lilith. Peter's family was very upset when they heard the name. If you didn't know, Lilith means ghost or of the night. We didn't pick this name because of its meaning, but because it's a name that every girl in my family has had for many years. My middle name is Lilith, along with my mums and grandmas, and even my great-grandmas. For a while, I didn't visit my in-laws. I didn't want to hear them talk about how I shouldn't have named my daughter Lilith. But yesterday we saw them again, and it was my mother-in-law's birthday. As soon as we showed up, things started to go badly. Everyone wanted to hold Lilith, which made my mother-in-law upset because people weren't paying attention to her and made me overwhelmed. I didn't want people holding her. I was going through a pretty bad postpartum depression, and it was still pretty early to see people. I let people look at her, but declined when anyone asked to hold her. During dinner, I heard my sister-in-law talking to my mother-in-law in German. I heard her complaining about how she couldn't hold my baby. My sister-in-law even had the audacity to call me, and I quote, a fat, ugly, hokey addict. I turned to my sister-in-law and mother-in-law and told them off in German. I basically said that I have always known what they had said about me, but calling me names was the last straw. I also mentioned how I've known German for my whole life, and the table instantly blew up. People were yelling at me because apparently this was all my fault. I left with Peter and we haven't talked to them since. So, am I the asshole? No! What? No! She had the audacity to understand that you were being a prick? What? Honestly, considering how that they treated her, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't have told them I could speak the language either. Like, maybe they shouldn't use their native language to be a massive see you next Tuesday, then maybe they wouldn't have these problems. Like, what? What? Like, how dare you know that I'm being a fuckwit? The audacity! How dare you? Oh my god, Lilith is a lovely name. Fuck you on about. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. If anything, considering how they've been talking about her and being absolute fuckholes, I can't blame them for dropping it at this point. And it's like, to be that, like, cruel about someone just because they won't let you hold their baby. Eat shit? Thank you. Oh my god. Some people. Absolutely not the arsehole. No thoughts even required there. How dare you catch me passing shade about you? Oh my god. It's like, yeah, sure, they could be complaining about it for religious reasons, but she did make it quite clear in the story that it's a family name. It's probably got the same weight as a racist complaining that an Indian parent decided to name their kid Mohammed, which is basically the equivalent of John. Like, some people are just kind of got their head quite deep up their own arses, and they're not quite willing to listen to the people around them and actually look at things from alternate perspectives. Oh, getting mad that she could understand them. What the fuck? I do love jokes so long as they follow the rules. And by that I mean the chat rules. I know, right, Shara? Obviously the only perspective in life is your own. All other perspectives are nonsense. Oh my god. We have the multilingual roasts. Alright. Am I the asshole for making my pregnant sister-in-law cry when she kept asking why I changed my name? Oh my god. That was fucking terrible. I love it. And you know what they say? My milkshake brings all the... Anyway. Hi, Debbie. Oh, thank you. Mwah. All right. My brother, 30 male, is married to Haley, 29 female, and they're expecting a baby together. Thank you for the hydrate. Last year, I, 17 female, officially changed my name, my first name from Evelyn, to Indy, which was a nickname form of my original middle name. My parents gave in, realizing how serious I was about being Indy, and how I was not warming up to or growing into Evelyn. My brother and Haley wanted an older vintage name for their baby, and Haley asked me about 5 months ago why I disliked Evelyn enough to change my name. At the time, she brought up how popular the name has become and how vintage is back, and I told her that I didn't like vintage names, and to me it just sounded really old-fashioned. I told her the popularity didn't influence my decision. She wanted to know my reason for disliking older names and why I like something like Indy instead. I didn't mind her asking this the first time. She brought it up again about a week later, and she asked the same question and pressed more for why. She asked a third and a fourth time. I gave her the same answer and asked her why she kept asking me. I told her my answer wasn't going to change. By the seventh time she asked, she admitted she was worried her baby would hate having an older name and wanted to figure out what she could do to prevent what happened with me happening to her. She also said that she'd like me to rethink my name because she thought Evelyn was beautiful and she was sad I chose something like Indy over it. I asked her to stop so many times already, and I even asked my brother to stop her. He told me I needed to understand it was the hormones. I can easily say that she has asked me this more than 25 times by now. I'm not exaggerating that number either. 2 weeks ago, when she brought it up again, she felt like I had made a mistake changing my name and how 30-year-old me wouldn't be so against Evelyn. And I told her, 30-year-old me can deal with it if that happens. She told me I didn't really have a good reason to like the name, and Indy seemed like the kind of name someone young likes, but not someone older. Then yesterday happened, and I kind of just lost my temper. She started out asking the same stuff, and the baby is almost ready to be born, so I know it's coming to an end. But she asked me to really think about why and help her because she couldn't figure out what she'd do differently than my parents did. Then she said that they really shouldn't have let me change my name so young. So I snapped, and I told her to stop asking me the same question because my answer won't change. And her comments are not changing my mind because I don't like old-fashioned names. I told her that they're awful, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about how much better they are and having her trying to make me find a reason she finds acceptable. I told her, just like she hates Indy, I hate Evelyn, and she needs to let it fucking go already. Oh, she burst into tears, and my brother got so mad at me. Now my parents were also like, why did I have to speak to her so harshly? Am I the arsehole? Could have handled it better, sure, but like, at the same time, I think we all would have lost our shit after time 26. So, I think she did handle it better the first 25 times, and it didn't get through. So, easy not the arsehole, no thoughts really required here. Like, I'm sorry, if you have asked the same question 25 times and gotten the same answer 25 times, you are just being a dick. In fact, you started being a dick at the 5th time. Then you added 20 dicks to the pile. Like, at this point, I may as well start calling you Adam and Eve. You've got so many dicks in your metaphorical pile, you could sell them. Like, 25... The answer was simple. It wasn't some great, complicated answer. It was literally just, why'd you change your name? 'Cause the first one sucks. The end. Like, fuck off. I can't think of a better. Just fuck off. Like, if someone did that to me, that would be my response. Just, alright. Fuck off. Like, it's my name. Like, if you like it, if you like the old one so much, you can have it. In fact, I got rid of it. It's in the bin. You can fish it out and give it to whatever hell you want. If you want to name your dog Evelyn, fucking go nuts. I don't give a shit. It's not my name anymore. Like, it's not like she was like, thou shalt not use the name Evelyn because I peed on it. She was just, I don't want it. It's crap. You can do whatever you want with it, though. Not my problem. And then clearly, I mean, it's even by the 3rd time, it was obvious. But like, clearly, this other person was fishing for like the answer. Like, clearly, she was fishing for Indy to turn around and be like, oh, well, actually, it was a terrible decision. And Evelyn really is a nicer name. And you are right, dear big sister-in-law senpai. And I am wrong and don't know myself or my life. I'm so sorry that it took you 25 fucking times to get me to lie to you so you felt better. Like, fuck off. It's giving crazy. I was crazy once. It really is giving. Oh my god. Just, oh, it is. Delulu is not always the Salulu, sweetheart. Like, goddamn. I know, right, yeah. People are like, they just get it in their head that they know better. And it's like, they have the audacity to just go up to people, like, you know, whether it's people like LGBT or just people who want to change their names. Because that is a thing. I mean, someone I grew up with just changed their name because they thought their birth name was shit. And that was it. They just thought their birth name was shit, so they picked a new one. And they stuck to it. That was it. Like, yeah, of course. I've absolutely known plenty of trans people who've changed it, for getting rid of dead names and stuff. But I have also once had a close friend who really did just change their first name because they thought it was shit. And that was it. It wasn't deeper. And everyone respected it. Because that's kind of what you're supposed to do. Because it's, you know, not being a fucking dick. Shockingly. It's almost like you're being an asshole. Hi, Ivy. Welcome. It's like, I can guarantee, just from observation, experience, time, whatever you want to phrase it as, once you change it legally, there are going to be some people who will have their feet stuck in the mud. But what you can do is just slap them with your driver's license and continue on with your day. Like, alright, I'm so sad to hear that you really loved the name Jennifer. That's lovely. That's great. But my legal documents say that my name is now Banana Sparkle. And you can keep saying Jennifer if you want. But unless you're gonna call me the Nun Man, I ain't responding. Toodles. And of course, that's a very, very, like, absurd reference. Like, an absurd comparison. I know there's a guy in New Zealand who changed his name to the Wizard. But, like, it's just, like, come on. Like, if it's legal, like, just shut up and put your head down. At that point, you look like a tit. Like, someone's name is Banana Sparkle and immediately leave. Look, if you met someone's name who's Banana Sparkle, one of two things is you will find one of two things. Either A, their parents are insane, or B, they are a little cookie. There's a bird in the Philippines called Batman. Just saying, Batman should come to Australia, specifically Melbourne, because I'm pretty sure that we have a town called Batman. I've never been to Batman. I've been to Batman Street, but I'm pretty sure we've got a town called Batman. Mostly just because I've seen it once or twice on the maps and been like, is that fucking town called Batman? Banana Sparkle sounds like a stripper. But I do know there's a chap in New Zealand called the Wizard, and I think that's really funny, because his whole thing is he's a wizard. Like, he goes around dressed up as a wizard, he's a performer. But he changed his name to first name last name was Banana Sparkle's 100% a brony. You know what, kid? Yeah, no, I can see it, actually. I don't ever, yeah, no, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I can see that. I can see it. Oh my god. Someone changes their name, respect it. Like, yeah, you're not committing a crime, but you do look like a fuckwit. It's like, I've never really, like, understood these people who, like, in the realms of name changes, pronouns, all of these kind of things where, you know, it's kind of dictating what other people refer to themselves. Like, I've never understood those people who get like their knickers in such a knot over things like names and pronouns. And it's like they get so stuck on the like, you know, like the whole free speech nonsense. Like, don't take my free speech, I can do what I want. And it's like they're missing the point. Like, yeah, technically, you can dead name someone to your heart's content. You are not going to be legally in trouble. But, and excuse me for a moment, I'm going to drop a hard swear, but I think it's appropriate this time. But if you do that, if you dead name someone constantly, if you give them the wrong pronouns constantly, yeah, you are not a criminal. You are just a cunt. And if that's how you want to live your life, then get fucked. Piss off. Like, apologies, but sometimes that word is really necessary. And that was one of those situations. I know, right? And these are the people, they get the maddest when you do it back too. They get so tilted over it. It's like, fuck off, freedom fighter. Oh my god. Exactly, cat. Oh my god. Alrighty. Am I the asshole for uninviting 25 family members to my wedding 6 weeks to showtime? I have had this Halloween wedding planned for 2 years. The venue I'd wanted has a wait list. All of a sudden, my mum and grandma decided the wedding was satanic and wanted me to make last-minute changes. I told my mum and grandma a firm no. 2 years my family has known about this, and because I've told them, no, half my mum's side thought that they would be cute and said that they aren't coming in a random ass power struggle. I told them fine, and cancelled everyone's invitations who complained or backed my mum or grandma on this. One of my sisters acted like she stepped out of the bridesmaid duty, so I replaced her. It was about 25 people that decided to act stupid at less than 6-week mark, so I sent out uninvited invitation and I sent out new QR codes to those attending, and the venue will check in by only those to let people in. My aunt, who was one of the uninvited, told me people are allowed to disagree with me, and that doesn't mean that I can pull an invitation from a wedding that they have made plans to attend. I told my aunt that they had 2 years for complaints, but saying you are not going at 6 weeks before my wedding is bullshit, and everyone fucked around and found out because I'll not be bullied by my family over this. Am I the arsehole? In this context? No. Like, this wedding's been planned for 2 years. And you suddenly have a satanic panic 6 weeks before the wedding that you're not paying for. Or anything, you're just a guest at. And it's not your wedding. Yeah. If you are making the couple's lives hell because you've got your head sniffing your arsehole, I think they're well within your right to take back their invites. Because fuck off, like, it's not their wedding. Like, weddings are one of those things where, like, at the end of the day, it's about the couple. And if they want to have a sick-ass goth wedding, or a really cool, like a Star Wars wedding, or a weeb wedding, or a costume party wedding like my own aunt and uncle had, or a traditional wedding, fucking who cares? If they get to have what they want. If that's the wedding they want, that's the wedding they get. And if you don't like that, don't go. But if you're going to chuck a stink about it, well within your right to say, yeah, no, you're going to ruin my day, actually. I'm paying too much for this. You can fuck off. And if you don't like that, maybe you shouldn't have been a Karen. As they say, it is almost like sometimes, very rarely, actions have consequences. Yeah, literally all that. They turned around and went, well, fine, if you're not going to change it, we're not going to come. And it seems like she called their bluff. It's like, change it or we're not going to come. And she went, okay, goodbye then. And then they're like, oh, wait a second, too late now. Goodbye. Hi, Isabella. How are you? Welcome, welcome, and good morning. Oh my god. Alrighty. Am I the asshole for encouraging my daughter not to watch her cousin or clean up his mess? Whenever my sister Lynn goes out to a family event, she never watches her own kids and expects everyone else to, including my own children, who have complained about it. She will leave the room with her toddler, that acts like a wild animal. So I told my children, 10 and 13, not to be duped into watching that brat. My 13-year-old daughter left the room when my sister left her alone with her kid to gossip with my mum. My daughter just got up and left. Lynn's toddlers pulled all of the food off by the tablecloth and spilled red pasta sauce all over my mum's carpet. The kid was screaming and Lynn started to yell at my daughter when I told Lynn it was her responsibility to watch her own fucking kids. Lynn said she thought my daughter was watching the baby, and I asked her, "Did you ask my daughter to?" Lynn said she thought my daughter was smart enough to watch kids if they were alone with them. My daughter said maybe Lynn should be smarter next time she thinks of having kids that she can't control or watch. Oh. Yes, this was rude. And I laughed. My mum told my daughter to help pick up the mess because she helped cause it. My daughter refused, saying it was Lynn's fault because she let her kids run around like animals. My mum said we could all leave because we had no respect for her or her house. My daughter said she wouldn't be back until her grandmother and aunt respected her, and I took my kids home. My mum thinks I should punish or talk to my daughter and make her apologize, but I won't. I don't think my daughter did anything wrong, and it's Lynn's fault for not watching her own brats. So, am I the asshole here? No. No, like, if Lynn really cared, she would have been like, hey, can you watch my kid for a second? And if the kid went, no, I can't, well then tough titties. But like, ultimately at the end of the day, if you're going to pop out a child, it's your responsibility. And if you want someone else to mind the child, whether they're a kid, an adult, doesn't matter, you've got to ask. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's not their responsibility. And it's almost like actions. There's a lot of stories which can really be summed up with, it's almost like actions have consequences. Like, bruh. I know, right, Ghosty? Lord. Control, like, I understand that children are hard to control just by nature of them being children, and I can empathize that much. However, they invented toddler harnesses for a reason. So... Oh my god. Alrighty. When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences? Am I the asshole for refusing to move out even though my roommate is 7 months pregnant? Hi guys, last week my roommate Becca found out that she is not only pregnant, but 7 months along. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna pause it here. Last week, your roommate found out she was 7 months pregnant. How the fuck do you not notice you're 7 months pregnant? It stops being subtle at like month 3. Dude! What? Pretty sure they're kicking at that point. How the fuck do you not know? Gonna keep reading, but I think I'm gonna be stuck on that. She texted me that we had to talk today, and I assumed that she'd be moving out soon for more space when the baby comes. Instead, she told me that I have to move out to make space for the nursery and her baby daddy to move in. I'm on a terrible salary, and I can't afford anywhere else to live. Plus, like, she wants me to move out right now so she can prepare for the baby. Even if I wanted to move out now, the apartment rentals in my area are either too expensive or well below living standards, so I don't want to move. She went absolutely crazy the moment I told her that I wouldn't move out, because I'm ruining her motherhood experience by not letting her family live together. I pay rent here and my name's on the lease until at least the end of the year. I'm not going to pull out of the lease, and I told her that if she wants her little family together, then she should move, and I'll find someone to half the cheap rent with. That made her start crying and saying how I just want to ruin her life, to the point her baby daddy had to console her and tell me to get out of their way already. I've not heard her stop crying since, but I think I'm totally valid that I don't want to leave. Am I the arsehole for not wanting to move out? I mean, for one, no. But also, how the fuck do you not notice you're pregnant for 7? I can't. Just, what? Your motherhood experience? You didn't even notice you were pregnant for 7 months. Like, just saying. You don't have room to fuck. Like, bruh. Oh my god, the day they were giving out the brains, she slept in or some shit, cause damn, common sense ain't hit her with the spoon yet. Oh my fucking god, like, 7, how do you not notice you're pregnant for 7 months? Like, I can understand a couple of months. Hell, even like 3 or 4, I can understand. It'd be easy to just convince yourself you're gaining weight or something. But 7? You are not subtle at 7. You stop being subtle at about 5. You base... What? Did she think... something almost tells me that, like, one day her water would have broken and she just would have been like, oh, I guess I needed to pee. Just... like... How smooth... That brain should be in a roller rink because damn, it's smooth. Like, yikes. Yikes. Oh my god. Like, Jesus. And then to immediately go, oh shit, I'm 7 months pregnant. Alright, roommate, fuck off. What? Fuck off? You're ruining my motherhood experience. Bitch! You didn't even notice you were having a motherhood experience. Fuck off! Bro! Oh my god. I'll say hi and I'll be welcome. Oh. Whew. Oh. Whenever you think you are dumb, whenever you think you are not good enough, just remember that you would definitely notice a pregnancy before the 7-month point. It could be worse. Da, 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 da. Fuck me. 7 months. Jesus Christ. How? I can't. How? Just the mental gymnastics you would have had to go through to stay oblivious for 7 months. That's almost impressive. Fuck. Oh my god. Alright. Food coma's given birth. Help. Never stop digging. There's always someone lower on the ladder. Oh my god. And she gives birth like, man, why is my number 2 crying? It's because it's a baby. Oh my god. Oh, just... Oh god. Alright. I'm gonna be floored by that for a week. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that she needs to get over me missing the birth of our daughter? I work in a job where there are certain times that I do not have access to my phone, or I am in the middle of nowhere. These times are well scheduled in advance and basically take up my whole day. There are a ton of safety regulations I have to follow during this time. My wife was pregnant, and at the time I planned to take off work near her due date. Unfortunately, she went into labor early, like about a month early, and I was on an inspection. I only learned about her going into labor when I got the signal again, and by the time I got to the hospital, she'd already given birth. This was about 1.5 years ago, and I'm an involved father. The issue is every single time we have an argument, she'll bring up that I missed the birth. It happens almost every single time, from serious arguments to what fast food we should get. Today was my breaking point. We got into an argument about her wanting to change the daycare situation. She wants to change daycare to one closer to home. I do drop off and she does pick up, but the only one closer to our home is too expensive and we can't afford it. In the middle of the argument, she pulled out the "I wasn't there for the birth" again, and I snapped. I told her she needs to get over that and stop using it in every fucking argument that we have. And then she called me a jerk and left. Am I the arsehole here? I mean, it's definitely could have handled it better. I'm getting the vibes that, like, he kind of didn't talk about it until it exploded. Like, in this, like, as for the specifics, not the arsehole, you can understand that would drive anyone insane. Also, hi, I love you, Ruby. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. But, like, have a lovely jog and rest well, Nova. But yeah, it's like, it's one of those, like, I guess it almost feels like not enough information, because the context wouldn't so much change the answer, but would change the intensity of the answer. So it's like, it would be one thing if he had spent the past 1.5 years trying to talk to her about it and, like, going like, no, like, look, I understand but it hasn't got anything to do with this, or please stop bringing it up. Like, if he had tried to push it aside and then she kept it up, she would be unanimously the arsehole. But if he has never once brought up the fact he was uncomfortable with it, and then just exploded at her, well, yeah, he's not the arsehole. It'd be a bit more of a, oh, everyone sucks here kind of situation. But, like, it's like a big thing, like, but the biggest thing is, he didn't miss the birth on purpose. Like, if she went into labor a month early, like, ultimately, that's not something anyone could have predicted. Like, work is one of those things where, like, you can take a couple of weeks off, but, like, you can't just be like, I'm gonna take 3 months off, because unless you got long service leave or something, they're gonna turn around and go like, well, at that point you may as well just quit then, like, fuck off, alright? Like, because that's just how it works. Like, there's not much he could have done, and he did clearly schedule work off for when she was due. It's just nature said nuh-uh, and there's not much he could have done about that. But it is really unfair of her to hold that against him the entire time. But yeah, I guess, like, there's not enough context. But I guess regardless, he still wouldn't be the arsehole. It would just be whether it's a hesitant not the arsehole or a hard not the arsehole. But hopefully she kind of cuts it out, because it is considering the context, it is not a good thing to keep bringing up, because then you just start looking quite manipulative. It's like constantly getting mad at someone for tripping one time over a wire that no one had even told was there. Thank you for the follow, Moonlight Forever 23. I appreciate it, darling. Thank you, and welcome to the Uncanny Valley. Am I the asshole for refusing to wear a skimpy maid outfit to an exclusive party my friend got invited to? So I, 22 female, live with my friend, 22 female, and she recently met a guy at a beach party. She's pretty much obsessed with him because he comes from a well-known, well-off family in the area and has a certain level of status associated with him. She told me that they were sort of dating, and obviously I've been supportive through it all as a friend. However, I've met him a few times, and I don't exactly hold favorable opinions of him. I didn't tell my friend because I wasn't sure of my views yet, and I didn't want to be negative. Anyway, he's throwing a party soon and invited my friend. He asked her to bring me along too. He said it was a themed party and that everyone would be assigned characters/style to wear. He sent my friend a picture of our outfits. 2 skimpy as hell maid costumes sprawled on a bed. I immediately told her that I wouldn't be wearing that shit, and especially not to a party with a bunch of strangers. Initially she thought I was kidding, but then understood that I'm serious. She said that wearing these fits isn't a big deal at all, and I just need to stop being so quote-unquote prudish and serious. I told her that it is very humiliating that this guy thinks it's perfectly fine to request 2 women to wear that to his party. Like you're seriously asking 2 girls who are clearly not as rich as you to dress up as maids to your party. I asked her if she seriously sees nothing wrong with it, and she said no. She explained that he just has weird taste, and it might be a weird rich people thing. I told her again that I will not be wearing some skimpy ass maid costume. Not only is it embarrassing, it is especially disrespectful to me because I don't have any sort of meaningful relationship with the guy, and yet he thought it's appropriate to include me in this request. I told her that I won't be wearing the clothes, we won't be going to the party, and from now on we'll avoid her new boyfriend altogether. We had a massive argument, and she said that I'm lame, boring, and not a supportive friend. She said that instead of helping her, I'm ruining everything and being a killjoy. When she fed back to the guy that I'm refusing to participate, he even asked her if getting paid for it would change my mind. But that made it worse. Apparently he told her that I have the right attitude, which makes no sense as I've been combative all this time, and that his friends would love to get to know me. The fuck? Oh, I'm just getting angry typing this. I was pretty upset and told my dad about the situation. The party's tomorrow night, and my friend decided to go alone, and she's not really talking to me at the moment. Am I the asshole, or is she? I feel strangely guilty even though I'm standing up for my boundaries. Am I the asshole? No. No. If anything, he sounds like a... Ooh. Like, I'm just getting brother kind of vibes from this. He sounds like a creep. Like, he really sounds like he's trying to get into her pants too. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. If he's trying to like force her also into the skimpy maid outfit that he's making his girlfriend wear, it really seems like he's kind of trying to go for a twofer, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, it's so creepy. And like, I get the other girl's like super infatuated, but ultimately, like, she said no. Respect that. If you really care about your friend, then you should respect that, like, then if they're not comfortable wearing an outfit. And it wasn't like she was like, not wearing that, you're not going either, we're not going. No, she just said, I'm not wearing that, I'm not okay with wearing that, so I won't go. You can still go if you want, just I won't go. So this friend's being an absolute dick as well, and nah, absolutely not the household. And if anything, like, yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, he absolutely looks like someone who'd drop something in a drink, you know what I mean? Absolute nutter. Ugh. Am I the asshole for returning my homemade wife's birthday gift to me, and telling her I don't want it? I then went out and bought what I actually wanted. I need an outside opinion on this. This has been an ongoing issue that I've talked to her multiple times about. My wife makes less money than me and is the type who prefers to make her own gifts for people. The issue is that she will do this even if the person doesn't want this. I will use myself as an example. For the past few years, she has made every single gift I've been given. No matter what I ask for, I get a homemade gift. Doesn't matter if it's cheap or not. Like, last Christmas, I asked for a few things, and I got a homemade scarf. I always get her stuff she wants, and I have talked to her about it multiple times. My birthday was yesterday, and I asked her to give me a book. It was only $25, and I sent her the link. I opened the gift, and she'd made some homemade bookmarks. It wasn't even the type of bookmarks I like. They were made from fabric, and I like the wooden ones. I must have made a face because she asked what was wrong, and I told her I didn't want them. I made it so clear what I actually wanted, and I've talked to her so many times. I handed them back and then went out to buy the book. We had a big fight when I got back. She claims I'm being ungrateful and a jerk. Am I the asshole here? This feels like an everyone sucks here, to be honest. Because it's like, I can understand both perspectives, because, like, on one hand, yeah, okay, fair. Like, if he's made it extremely clear, like, he's just not particularly interested in the homemade gifts. I mean, it's kind of what were you expecting, but, like, the big issue here is it's talking about gifts. You can ask for whatever the fuck you want, but the one giving the gift actually gets to make the decision. That's the whole point of a gift. Gifts are great because you never truly know what you're going to get. That's why they're gifts. And to be completely honest, giving someone a shopping list and saying, get me something from this, makes you look like an asshole. Because it defeats the whole purpose. Like, at that point, just go, hey, can I just give you $30 and you go and get me that cat figure? Okay, then just give me the $30, done. Or, can you get me that cat figure and I'll pay you back next time? That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like a gift. It just feels like I don't have any money right now. Can I have that thing? I'll pay you back later. Like, it's got that vibe to it. Especially how he's like, I always get her stuff she wants. He really makes it seem very transactional. And it's like, it's gifts. Like, the whole point of, and it's like, homemade gifts come from the heart. Like, there's heart with it. Like, I've definitely received some homemade gifts in my time where I haven't liked it. But I'm not a dick about it. Because ultimately, it's the thought that counts. Like, I think the best thing I can think off the top of my head is there's this lovely blanket that my nan made me. And I love the thought that went into it. I really, really do. However, the best way to put it is extremely obvious that she doesn't know me as a person. And that translated into the gift. But I still, of course, absolutely accepted it. I thanked her for it, and I appreciated the effort that went into it. Yeah, it's a little sad to know that her perception of me is so far away from who I really am that if I was in a criminal lineup and there was a blindfold screen, she would never actually be able to successfully guess who I am. But it's still the thought that counts, and the fact is she still spent a long time making that blanket. It's a useful blanket, and I'll be able to, like, if guests come over, I can, you know, they can rest in the pink blanket if they'd like. It's well made. It's just, it's a pink blanket, and when I say that I have been screaming I hate the color pink specifically since I was a toddler, I'm really not kidding. I was really annoying about that as a teenager too. Like, I was really anti-pink. I had to have a character arc to accept it into my art palette. So, like, yeah. But it's still, like, excluding, I guess, like, the color scheme, I definitely appreciate the work that went into it. Because these things are handmade, they take a long time to make. And the reason that I'm using this as an example to kind of be like, you can still appreciate a homemade gift, even if you don't like it. Like, it doesn't have to, even if it doesn't fit your taste, you can still treasure it. Because ultimately it's the thought that counts, it's the time that counts. But of course, the one downside of homemade gifts, like with my example, like with other examples, is they are the most telling. In that, if you receive a homemade gift from someone who's close to you, and it is a mile outside of your taste range, they don't know you as well as you thought they did. And that's what makes them risky. However, that doesn't give you the right to be a fuckwit about it. Like this chap is. Like, if he really, really didn't want the homemade gifts, he shouldn't have been like, keep your homemade gifts and give me my shopping list. He should have just asked for no presents.
Thanks for the raid, Yuki_Suki. Snoodle's ready to bring some winged snake pizzazz and make your raid an unforgettable shindy. Let's have a grand old time together.
Hi, Yuki_Suki. Thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. And welcome. Aw, thank you for wishing me a happy anniversary. I appreciate it. I'm 3 years old now. Going on 30. How you been? How was your stream? I hope it went really well. Ooh, Power Wash Simulator. That looks like fun. But yes, we're reading and gossiping about Am I the Arsehole stories, and enjoying being cheeky little bastards over teacups. You know what I mean? But yes, welcome in, Raiders. Welcome. For those who don't know me, hello. My name is AITA. It's a pleasure to meet you. I usually do art, creative stuff, and sprinkle in some games. Otome. I read a lot of villainess stories in my free time. Isekai is awesome, etc., etc. I'm also really bad at introducing myself. But yes, welcome in. We're having a gossiping night. And if you do like yourself some Am I the Arsehole tea, you may just enjoy your time. But please, get a drink, get some rest, do whatever you need to take care of yourself. Because we are about to enter the next, I'd say chapter, but it's more just next story. Am I the arsehole for not telling my wife, or my ex-wife, that we lived in a rental apartment? How the fuck did you hide the fact? This one already confuses me. Let's go in deep. Enjoy lurking, Dookie. And it's always lovely to see regardless. Hi. Back in 2008, when I started university, I rented a 2-bedroom apartment with my ex-girlfriend at the time and my friend and his girlfriend. We got a great deal for it, as the owner of the place lost his job because of everything that had happened back then and decided to try her luck abroad where she still lives. Years went by, and after university, my friend and his girlfriend decided to find a place of their own, as we had full-time jobs. Renting this apartment together did not seem expensive anymore, and also did not seem expensive to rent alone after we broke up some time later. So there I was, alone in a 2-bedroom apartment in the central part of the city. The owner decided that she was too lazy to mess with bills and stuff every month, and made arrangements for me to pay everything directly. As I earned her trust, I still pay her monthly rent, which is very cheap for today, and deal with everything else having her authorization. Because of the perfect location, my second bedroom was basically free B&B for my friends who did not live in the city, and I didn't mind. It's good to have company if you live alone. In 2020, I met a girl who was in a rush to get married, and as I was madly in love, we did in 2021. For some reason, I never told her the story about how I rented the place, or that it was a rental at all. It just never came up. I've been so used to the fact that I'm an authorized representative with building cooperative things, etc., that I just refer to it as my place. I mean, to be fair, at that point, he'd been there for like 13 years. Our relationship started to cool down, and we found out that we weren't perfect for each other after all, so divorce it is. So we did the paperwork for divorce, and she's moving out. A few days ago, I received an email from her with a real estate valuation document as an attachment. And while I was not at home, she wasted £500 for someone to evaluate an apartment that does not belong to us, and wrote that I probably have to take a loan to pay her the 50% of that. I replied to her, "Didn't I ever tell you that this place is a rental? Why does she assume that I can afford a 2-bedroom apartment in the city centre? She knows where I work and how much I earn." She called and screamed at me that I lied to her for years and hid the fact that the apartment was a rental. Then she tells me that, well, she'll take the car that we got together. And I was quiet for a moment, then told her, "You do know that is a lease, right? The owner of the car is the bank." Then she demanded that I pay for the valuation, and I replied, "I did not ask you to do it." Then she called me an arsehole and ended the call. Of course, she told our whole friends group about how I lied to her during the whole marriage, and there was a discussion in the messenger group with friends that if it's a lie or not, whether it was an arsehole thing to do, and some agree with me and some with her. My best friend told me that this is the perfect topic for a Reddit thread, however. So now I ask you, Am I the arsehole? Hi Yuri, hi Chairman Guy, hi Inky. Welcome, welcome. Not the arsehole. Seems like, and it's like, it seems like, you know, the owner lived overseas. He didn't need, I guess, like, that's the thing. He'd been there for like 13 years, right? He's on extremely good terms with the owner. That's probably why he didn't have any flat inspections. Why would he? He's best mates with the owner, and if he's been there for 13 years, she clearly trusts him. So she'd have no reason to get the flat inspected constantly. Like, I'm pretty sure after like year 8, she would have been like, yeah, it's probably going to look the same as it did 6 months ago. Like, it got, like, she trusted to the point that, like, he's an authorized representative for the entire building. Like, that he represents her and everything. But, like, it seems this ex-wife just assumed, like, he owned it. Like, what, did she think that she was, like, marrying some rich guy and then divorcing him so she could get half a divorce and get rich? Like, maybe, just maybe. She could have fucking asked. And it's like, that's another thing as well. Like, you do realize that in order to co-own a house with someone, even in a marriage, you do have to fill out some paperwork, you know. Like, your name kind of has to be on the deed. You know, like, it doesn't just magically appear on there, you know. Like, maybe she should have had, like, a smart thought for, like, a moment and been like, hey, I should own 50% of that house, but I don't remember signing anything or filling out any paperwork. Maybe I should double check before spending the equivalent of 1,000 Aussie dollars on an evaluation that didn't go anywhere. Oh god, like, it really seems to me the only reason she didn't know it was a rental is because she never fucking asked. Like, I'll be honest, there are some things in my life which have been staples of my life for over 10 years. And I can tell you now, because it's so normal to me, I don't really think about dropping the bomb, because it's not a bomb. It's a part of the furniture. Yeah, exactly, Novi. Like, there's actually paperwork if you're going to co-own a house. Like, come on. Like, I mean, like, I'm talking, like, on minor scale, of course, in comparison, but, like, this would be, like, let's say, let's go with, and I'm going to use a day-to-day life example, let's go with the fact that I'm an artist. I've been drawing and calling myself an artist since I was, like, 12. I'm definitely not 12 anymore. Like, yeah, for like the first 10 years, it'd be one of the first things I draw. Oh, I'm an artist, I love doing it. But these days, I'll be honest, I don't. It's not part of my introduction. It's not that I'm ashamed or anything. I just don't think to do it. It's just such a integral part of who I am that, like, I don't go like, hi, nice to meet you. My name is AITA and I'm an artist in real life. It's just like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm AITA. And if they're like, oh, if for some reason hobbies comes up and they ask, oh, what do you do in your free time? I'm like, oh, you know, I'm an artist. I draw things. But, like, it's not part of the introduction because it's just such a normal part of my life. It's like getting mad that I didn't disclose I was a natural ginger. Like, yeah, I didn't think I had to. Like, it's, and you could juxtapose that kind of situation onto this. Like, he's been renting the place for what, 12, 13 years. Like, most people close to him in his life already knows he's been renting it. It's just such normal information. She should have asked. If she really cared about owning the place so much, she should have asked. Even just been like, oh, you know, can I see the deed of the house? Or asked just how it worked. All she would have done, all she would have needed to do is just asked, you know, how things with the house would work. Like, I'm surprised at no point during this divorce, she, like, brought up the house. It seems important. And been like, oh, you know, like, you know, since we're getting a divorce, how's divvying up the house gonna work? That's all she would have needed to ask. How's things with the house going to work? That's it. And that's quite a normal conversation to bring up in a divorce. That's a pretty normal thing to ask. And I would bet money on the fact he would respond with, oh, no, I actually rent this place. Didn't you know? And yeah, she probably would have cracked it then, but she wouldn't have spent like $1,000 on it first. God, like, just confidently incorrect. Oh, God. But yeah, I think hopefully she's learned something from that. Sometimes you should fact check before you blow $1,000 on something that you don't have evidence is going to come to fruition. Yeah, exactly, Xander. Like, no one's got to come out with a 45-page list qualifying everything about themselves. Oh my god. Alrighty. Yep. Oh my god. I mean, you gotta admit though, I can't talk and speak at the same time. It's cursed, but there's a part of me that's like, mood. That feels like the Nero Spicy experience. Am I the asshole for putting dinner away and playing video games after my girlfriend came home drunk? My girlfriend and I live together. I'm 29 and she is 26. We've lived together for 6 months. I've been very busy at work and with life, so yesterday I was really looking forward to cooking dinner for my girlfriend and I am just relaxing. We have this planned all weekend. My girlfriend's more of a social butterfly than I am, so she had plans yesterday morning with her friends. She had brunch at 11 and I was planning on having dinner ready by 6:30. I expected her to have a few mimosas at breakfast, but nothing too crazy. Maybe she'd get home and take a nappy nap before dinner. Basically, brunch turned into going to one more bar after, around 1 PM, which turned into more bars, which basically became bar hopping all day. She was texting me insisting that she'll be home in time for dinner, but by the way she was talking, she could tell I was drunk. I started making the pasta around 5 PM. Around 5:30, I saw her snap story that she was doing shots at a bar in a completely different neighborhood of Chicago. I didn't want to be the boyfriend who nags, so I let it go. I was getting seriously annoyed because I was thinking, oh great, she's going to be hammered for our nice night that we've planned. At 6:30, she was not home yet. I saw her on her location that she was now at a different bar from where they were taking shots at. I ate and asked my friends if they wanted to play PlayStation, so I packed up the food and put it in the fridge and hopped on PlayStation with the boys. Girlfriend arrived home around 7:15, clearly drunk. She asked what the fuck I was doing and what about dinner. I said she was late and dinner was done, but it's in the fridge so she can heat up some if she wants. She apologized for being a little bit late, but basically gave me a half-assed laughing apology saying, oh, you never know what to expect when the girl gang goes to brunch. I said that's fine, but I now have other plans. She called me rude and went to bed. We haven't talked much about it today, but I can tell she's being passive-aggressive, so am I the asshole? Edit. Oh, and she also went and said my dinner didn't look very good, so she DoorDashed Taco Bell. Update. Girlfriend and I talked. We're okay for the most part. She did sincerely apologize and admitted to her fucking up. She said she wished I came when she invited me, though, after she learned it might be out longer than 2 PM. This started another issue, or a thing we need to figure out in our relationship. She opened up and said that she wished sometimes I was more outgoing and social. She wishes I wasn't fine with sitting around the apartment all the time. Alrighty, so basically what it looks like is he was at home all day, and girlfriend went to brunch at 11 a.m. and then spent the entire day bar hopping, which, alright, fine. And then got mad because she showed up an hour and a half late. And dinner was already cold and in the fridge. I mean, what were you expecting? Hi, Eyes. Hi, Cookie. Hi, Jade. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Oh my god, Ghosty. Just like stops running. Fuck you. Anyway, continue. Yeah, no, absolutely not the arsehole. Like, I'm sorry, he stayed home all day. He was doing his own thing, but like, you know, he told you when he was cooking dinner. You left for brunch at 11 a.m. and you didn't get back till 7:15 p.m. That was on you. Oh, I'm sad to hear that, Jade. I do hope your day gets a little bit better from here. And worse comes to worse and it remains in the toilet. Soon you will get to go to sleep. And then today will be in the past where it fucking belongs. But yeah, don't diss homemade food. Homemade food is amazing. I love homemade food because my homemade food is edible. So anyone who makes me food is amazing. Alrighty. Am I the asshole for telling my sister her baby's name sounds like a dog's name, and now she won't talk to me? My sister had a baby. I'm happy for her, I really am. But her baby's name is Rough. It's Rough, R-U-F-F. It sounds like a dog. I thought she was joking and laughed. I was wrong. She asked me why I was laughing. And so I said, oh, it sounds like a dog barking. Ruff, ruff. I thought we were laughing, but she got mad. She was angry. She said I was being disrespectful and that the name had meaning to her and her husband. They love an obscure video game character. I told her she can name her child whatever she wants, but people will associate it, and it might be hard for them in school. She won't return my texts or calls. My mum says I should have kept my mouth shut. But am I the only one seeing it? I mean, I don't mean to be a jerk, but... Rough! I can't be the only one who thinks this could backfire! So I told my sister that her baby's name sounds like a dog's name. Is she overreacting? Am I overreacting? Am I the asshole? This woman named her child the onomatopoeia of a dog's bark. It'd be one thing if, like, the dog's name was, like... oh my god, I'm even calling it a dog. It'd be one thing if the baby's name was, like, you know... Spot or Buddy or something like that. Then it would be a little bit rude. I mean, Buddy is very much a dog style name, but like you can also argue, yeah, it's a human name. But Rough, it doesn't matter what accent you say it in. Rough. It sounds like a dog. It sounds like a dog barking. Like it's literally the onomatopoeia of a dog. But oh no, that's a bad choice. Oh, that is going to backfire so hard. That is going to backfire so hard. Oh. That kid is going to have a rough life. Oh, don't let this mum hear you say that. Oh, you'll be in the doghouse. In my defense, she named the kid Rough. Oh, that's a choice. That is a kid who's going to grow up hating their parents. I'm just going to put that out there. Kept barking up the wrong tree there. He's going to really rough it out in the future. Oh, yep. There's an emo phase coming. Am I the asshole for leaving my party for beating cancer? I, 35 male, am a very private person. I have no social media. I don't want my wife, 32 female, posting photos of me. Although I don't tell her not to, or just don't ask her to post me. Celebrating Father's Day or my birthday, I don't like attention on me and prefer to keep things low-key whenever I can. So, keeping that in mind, I was diagnosed with an extremely curable type of skin cancer. It was caught very early on, and I never felt scared for my life in any way, shape or form. I'm an engineer, and I think analytically, and I wasn't scared with a diagnosis with a 0.03% fatality rate. Still, I told my wife, of course, and she was terrified. We talked through it and told my doctor was very optimistic and said we've caught it early on, etc. But none of this seemed to help. But I tried. After a while, I told her that we shouldn't tell her kids, 5 female and 7 female. My wife wanted to tell them, but I was so adamant about that. I'm not sure they would even understand what they're talking about. So, reluctantly, she agreed not to. About a week later, I get a call from my dad, asking about my cancer. Turns out my wife posted on Facebook about my cancer that morning. I called her and I wasn't happy that she posted my business and she hid behind the "you didn't say I couldn't post it, just not to tell the kids" excuse. There is no way she would think that I wanted that posted online, no matter what I said. So she took it down and time went by. Very quickly, I was in remission with my skin cancer, and my doctor told me, word for word, "We don't like to say you're cured, but you're cured." I told my wife, and she was ecstatic. She told me she was worried all this time, I could tell, and glad we put all of this behind us. I thought that we could put all of this behind us too. This week, I'm coming home on Friday. I see a lot of cars parked on the street, some in my driveway. I couldn't think of any birthdays or anniversaries I missed, but I went in anyway. It was a party for my remission diagnosis. I was mortified at this. She'd never done anything like this, and we've talked about how I would hate a surprise party multiple times. I asked what this is for, and she said, "I'm sorry, but I didn't know you planned this. I'm just coming back for some files," and so I said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know you planned this. I'm just coming back for some files and heading back to work." It was a lie, but I gathered up some meaningless files in my office and said thanks to everyone for coming and left to go back to my office, messing around on my phone until everyone left. My wife knew I was lying, and we fought that night, and I told her that I don't know what's gotten into her, but she knows I would never want this, and she doesn't get to make a big deal out of something personal I never wanted to be public in the first place. We've been cold this whole week, and my brother says I'm the arsehole, since I told him I just pretended to go to work. So, am I the arsehole for not wanting to celebrate beating my cancer? I mean, no. Because, I mean, ultimately, it's a tricky one. And I only say it's tricky because, like, I just don't like outright lies. That just rubs me the wrong way. But she shouldn't have hosted the party in the first place. Like, I'm leaning towards either a soft not the asshole or a very, like, conditional everyone sucks here. But, like, ultimately, if he's made it extremely clear that he hates surprise parties, throwing him a surprise party for something he had made extremely clear was something very personal that he didn't want shared is really insensitive. And considering that, like, all these people just suddenly there, I can't blame him for just coming up with a quick white lie just so he could get the fuck out of there. Honestly, yeah. Like, I'd react quite similarly. If anything, I wouldn't be happy. If I came back from my surgery next year or something, and the house was just full of people, like full of friends and family that I wasn't, I would not be happy. Because like, I don't like people being in my house without knowing full well who's coming in beforehand. I'm quite private, I guess, like that. Like it's just more like I like to know what's happening in my own place. I would hate this. Especially because it's like it was something he didn't want to be made a big deal of. Like, that'd be like if I don't know, recovered from the sniffles and then suddenly came home to a party. It'd be that same like, oh, come on. Really? Fuck off. Yeah, and then to get, yeah, I know, right, Eyes, 100%. Like, it's one of those, like, I can really understand why he made up that line, because ultimately, it's the nicest thing he could have done, considering he was really not happy. Which was like, oh, you know, I'm really sorry, but I didn't know you planned this, but I really got to go back to work. Actually, I can't stay. That's probably the nicest thing he could have done. Like, yeah, of course, you know, lying's not amazing, etc. But like, all things considered, like, the thought of like, oh, it's just so. I guess you could say it's quite selfish of the wife to do that. Like, this entire story really gives the impression that, and this is just one perspective, of course, but like this entire story really gives the impression that the wife was far more concerned with her own feelings regarding everything. She didn't stop to consider his at any point, even though he was the one actually dealing with it. And so ultimately, he's the one who should have the full authority of it. Like, if he wanted no one to know or it to be kept on the down low, she should have respected that wish. Like, she wasn't the one with the extremely minor skin cancer. He was. And yeah, it's a privacy thing. Yeah. Like, there are definitely things about myself that I like to keep private. Just because I don't like talking about them. Like, I mean, like, I know that I don't like talking about my medical issues that much. I mean, yeah, I have them, of course I do. I'm not, like, I don't like, I suppose better, more accurately, I don't like talking about the specifics of my medical issues that much. I don't like the pity party. It's annoying. You know, like, I'm all for empathy, but, like, sympathy and pity just makes me go, ugh. Like, I don't like being pitied. It's annoying. And so I don't really like going into the particulars of my medical issues. It's like, I'll acknowledge I've got them, but like, I'm not gonna like outline everything or outline the things I do, because I mean, what's the point? What's it got to do with anything else? And I would be absolutely mortified if I came back from getting one of my shots and everyone's like, happy shot day, and I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house, what the fuck? Like, and yeah, like, imagine having to go back, after being disturbed at your home. It says a lot that he went back, he actually did go back to the office. Like, that says a lot. God. Honestly, I just feel bad for the guy. And it's kind of sad that, like, his wife was more concerned with her own feelings over it rather than his. Some people, they seem to forget other perspectives exist. Yeah, exactly as. It's like, pretty much, it's like, how do I put it? It's like, it's probably the easiest way to look at it, is it really seems like the wife, it's not that she was being like deliberately selfish. It really comes off that she just could not, or more accurately would not, look at things from his perspective. She was gridlocked onto her own perspective, and it was that whole case of like, it really seems like, to play armchair psychologist, hee-hee-ha, it really seems like she kind of was like, oh, if I had to go through this, and if I found out I'd recovered, I'd love for that to be celebrated. Not stopping to think for 2 seconds that sounds like an actual nightmare to him. And she'd be like, oh, if I was struggling with cancer, I would want everyone to know about it so that I would feel like people had my support. Not stopping to think that that sounds like an actual fucking nightmare to him. It's like she was so gridlocked onto her own perspective. She didn't stop to think for 2 seconds that she was not actually the only one in the room. And she wasn't the main character either, so to speak. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that is, at risk of sounding painfully corny, completely valid. Just like a parking fine. No, but like, yeah, we all have like different levels of private. Like, there are things that like I am more than happy to tell people I've met, like chat to them for an hour or two. And there are a lot of things in my life I'm more than happy with. Like, oh yeah, you know, we'll talk about this thing, da 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 da. But like, there are also certain things that no chance in hell. You've got to pass the hidden tests. If you want to experience the webcomic infodumping, you have to show you're interested first. Otherwise, you're never gonna know about my reading habits. If you want to know about very specific medical issues in my life, you better have the same condition and accidentally let me know first. Otherwise, you're never gonna know. If you want to experience the extremely rare case of me infodumping on you about one of my stories, you've either got to A, infodump on me first, or B, show a hell of a lot of interest in it, because I don't budge very easily. But also, at the same time, if you show you're interested in one of the things I like, it's also a very fast track to friendship. I can tell you now, if you want to hear me rant about the hyperfixations, you must have had to my Riddles 3. It's like all of my like hyperfixations have like secret tests in front of them. If you pass the test, you are granted access to the Lloydverse. Exactly as. Honestly, fastest way to connect with me is to spark one of my hyperfixations. It is like a speed route into deep depths of the friendship. But the catch is, I don't tend to share my hyperfixations for real very often, and I'm very hesitant with actually sharing what I'm actually super into right at this exact specific point in time. But if you uncover it, you will unleash probably a barrage of Lloyd pictures. I can't say it's a great reward, but it comes with friendship points. No, in all honesty, you've just got to prove you're willing to put up with the fact I have no sense of time and I forget humans exist a lot, so persistence really does work with me. I forget. I mean, I forget what I have for breakfast. Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, the Lloyd pictures are absolutely hilarious. I have a whole heap on my phone. They're like just the pinnacle of emotes. Yeah, for real, Xana. It's a kind of like, say, like with a stray cat. It's like us neurospices. We're kind of like, you know, like stray cats. Unless you like put the magic food out, we're gonna be like, fuck off. We might like slowly approach and have some nibbles, but it's like, it's the slow trust game. But if you put down like A fucking bowl of Nutella, we're best mates. And in this metaphor, that bowl of Nutella is current hyperfixation. Amen to that, Santa. Oh my god. Alrighty. Am I the asshole for starting my wedding ceremony before my mum showed up? The day of the wedding started out as they normally do. I, the bride, was inside getting ready and final touches were being made outside. After I was almost ready by noon, my mum had to run back to the hotel 20 minutes away to change and to come back with my grandma and a family friend. The invitation says ceremony at 2, and as per usual we were a little late starting, but nothing crazy. Next thing you know, I'm walking myself down the aisle with no mum, grandma, or family friend in sight. The ceremony continues and it's over before we know it. Still nothing. And after 45 minutes, they finally pull up. Then I proceed to go and tell them it's over and that they missed it and that 2 meant 2. My mother immediately became hostile and proceeded to blame the bakery for not having buns ready. And they said they were stopped by a train, and my personal favourite was, "It's your fault you didn't call or text to see where we are." Excuse me? The invitation said 2. Also note that the officiant also had another wedding to get to after mine, so it was a tight schedule. So, I am the arsehole for not holding up my ceremony. Side note, I found out the real reason why they were late. She wasn't done getting herself ready, therefore holding everyone up. She's mad at me because it's quote-unquote my fault. Am I the arsehole here? No. Aw, thank you so much, Phoebe. I'm glad you like my model. I made it myself. Thank you. Mwah. And of course, have fun learning. But yes, like, if an event says it is gonna start at 2, bruh, and you show up at 2:45, that is 100% a classic case of the fuck did you expect? This is a dead dove do not eat. The fuck did you expect? Like, bro, dude! It is not about you! Oh, just... come on. Like, bro. No. That mum sounds like an arsehole, honestly. Yeah, weddings are something you have to be on time for. Like, ultimately, is what it is. Oh my god, absolutely not the arsehole. No thoughts required. Easy NTA. Oh, just so they can get themselves ready. Piss off. Piss off. Honestly. Alrighty. Tell her to pay for a redo and then she can come on time. Yeah, it's like, yeah, she wants to pay the bills, then they'll hold up for her. Alright. This next one will be the last story for the night. Because I am old and crunchy. Alright. Am I the asshole for refusing to cancel child support? I, 34 male, have been taking care of my sister's, 32 female, daughter for around 6 years. This all started when my sister got arrested for felony theft and drug charges. She's been a long-time addict, a poor mother, and a family manipulator. No one else in my family stepped up, so I offered to take my niece in while my sister did drug treatment to avoid jail. From the beginning, my niece, then around 10, didn't want anything to do with her mum. I thought that was odd, but over the first few months I had her, my niece opened up about her mum having treated her very poorly. I sought a guardianship for my niece, and told my sister I would not willingly send my niece back to her unless my sister got off the drugs and sorted her life out. My sister initiated a legal fight with me to terminate the guardianship. I grew to love this kid like my own, and I didn't want to send her back to a bad environment. It cost me 6 figures over the course of a year and a half in legal fees. But I won. I managed to marshal substantial evidence on my sister's ongoing substance abuse, and the court relied upon the report of a court-appointed guardian ad litem who reported favourably about my niece in my care and about my niece's negative view of her mother. At some point in the legal process, as I was shelling out a 5-figure monthly legal bills, I learned that, as my niece's guardian, I was entitled to child support. So I filed the forms to seek it, and won. The state oversees the support award, and is apparently pretty thorough in seeking it, garnishing paychecks and bank accounts. Now, years on, I am starting to get pressure from other family members to forgive the child support. I have family reaching out to me saying my sister's doing better and just can't get ahead having to give up portions of her paycheck every month. With back amounts, it's like $30,000 in back support that I am owed. I don't need it, really, if I'm being honest. I make a good living, better than anyone else in my family has done. In all likelihood, my sister's debt will never be paid in full. But I don't want to let it go. I've started telling relatives, hey, that's great that you want to help sister. Why don't you pay me her $30,000 debt plus the present value of the award until my niece is 18? Then I'll forgive her obligation. Relatives have been huffy at that response. My sister initiated a fight with me knowing full well she was back on drugs, and lied about it, and got caught in open court. It was all a waste of a large amount of money, in my prime years, that I would have otherwise saved and set aside to retire on, or pay for my niece's education. I'm still mad about it, my sister can owe it to me forever for all I care. So I must ask, am I the arsehole here? Hi Luna, thank you for the follow, darling, I appreciate, and welcome. Yeah, no, she sounds like an absolute nightmare of a woman. Good on him for taking the kid, and good of him for taking her out as well. She sounds like one of those absolute abusive pricks who clearly think they know better, when no, they clearly do not. Like, yeah, honestly, I can't blame him at all for doing what he's doing. Like, who knows what she did to that kid, but for a 10-year-old to despise their mother, there's a reason. So, that alone tells me more that I need to know. Absolutely. Trash can. I think he's in the right. Not the arsehole. And maybe, if she really, really wanted to be forgiven and treated better, etc., 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 maybe she should get off the sauce and actually, like, straighten out her life if she wants to do better. Not just say she's doing better to try and get out of having to pay child support for her own kid. Hi Luna, how are you? Oh my god. Have a sippy. Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a good Goss stream. Gotta admit, a lot of the stories tonight were a lot of cases where just like people with their own heads up their asses. There were a lot of stubborn mules who thought they knew better, but like couldn't figure their way out of a cardboard box. Kind of personalities I've noticed. That seems to be like the general theme of tonight. A whole, like, as as the saying goes, wisdom was a chasin', but they was a running faster. Oh, thank you, Luna. I'm really glad you like my design. Thank you. I'm DIY. I designed, drew, etc. myself, so thank you. Heartwarmed. I hope you're doing lovely, by the way, and it is an absolute pleasure to meet you. Oh, the 7-month one. Oh, I still can't. I just, how do you not notice you're pregnant for 7 months? I don't. How? Just, what? Just, bro, how? Like, I really want to know. Oh my god, that was the winner. that was the winner in the smooth contest. Oh, just honestly, that one should probably like get a little restructuring. That would look amazing on stories about Kevin. How do you not notice you're pregnant for 7 months? I can't. I can't process it. My brain's just going, that sounds like nonsense. Like, no. Oh, no, eyes, no. Basically, to recap that story, girl did not notice she was pregnant for 7 months, finally realized, then turned around and then tried to kick OP out of the house because OP was apparently ruining their mothering experience. Keep in mind, they'd only realized a week prior to this, and they were also trying to bring their boyfriend to move in her place. Yeah, like, when I say, like, the brain was smooth, I mean the brain was smooth for the entire slide. It just started off with the pregnancy. And then it just kept on running. And oh boy, did it run. Oh my god, some people. So, humanity is amazing. And I truly, truly love it dearly. But fuck me. Sometimes I do question that fact. I mean, you gotta laugh about it. Oh my god. But yes. Oh. All of the excitement this week has gotten me EP. Alrighty. Alright, let me double check. Okie dokie, so it's EP time. Alright, my next stream will be in 2 days' time, so on Friday night. Same start time, 8:30 p.m. ADT, so current time minus 2 hours. And we will be doing some live 2D rigging. So we'll be working on the on Lasty's second outfit, for we are finally in the final stage. And then over the weekend on Saturday, we will have a Minecraft stream and doing just a little donathon to help ease the burden on Comet's butt surgery. I'll be absolutely upfront. She's getting her butt surgery regardless because she's my precious little kitty meow meow and I want her to get better. Hi Magnetite177, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Mwah, and welcome. But basically, like, anything that can't be raised in the donathon, I'm just going to pull out of my own surgery savings. Worst case, postpone my own, doesn't matter. My bean comes first. My chunk comes first. Because she needs to get her anal glands removed. So my snip might need to be pushed back, but at least I still have that. But yeah, so that's, rest assured, no matter what happens, Comcom will be getting the surgery, so it's not like a life or death, like no surgery or yay surgery. I don't want anyone to think that, but every cent helps because, yeah. Basically, the less I have to take out of my own surgery savings, the better. Because I'm going to be going for a moderate? I'm not sure you call it moderate or major chest surgery in February next year. But because the government sucks, I have to pay for it out of pocket. Yes, gotta get ComCom better. Alrighty. Alright, have a stretch. Now, let me pop into good old stream ending. Now, who to invade? Let's see. Do 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 do. Ooh. Having a look-see. Ooh. Ooh. Are they drawing? I can't tell. Oh, they're just chatting. Let's see. Oh, I'm having a look. I'm having a click through some artists. Oh, perfect! I found someone who's like just doing cute little doodles. I think that's perfect. Alrighty. All right. So let's set up this raid. All right. Underscore. All right. Make sure I've spelled it correctly. Perfect. All right. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining me for my little stream tonight. It was a wonderful time to hang out with all of you and commit some hot goss. Next stream will be rigging on Friday. It'll be nice and comfy. We'll be listening to sick tunes and doing premium wriggles. And of course, Minecraft and ComCom butt surgery on, well, ComCom butt surgery on Saturday. She actually gets her surgery on the 4th, so next week. Oh, thank you, Shara. You're the best. Alright. But yes, forgive the rambles. I think my brain is like finally starting to be like, I need this naps now. Yes. Have a lovely evening, morning, night. I appreciate each and every one of you. Mwah. And of course, to my amazing folks here who have been here for a while, this one's just for you. Lloyd loves you too. Hugs and kisses. Alright, I'll bring up the raid message. But yes, that's the raid message. Copy pasta it. And finally, see you guys on Friday raiding in 3, 2,